Yeah, we thought he had a breakout night last Friday night at Tennessee High. He's really gonna set the record straight tonight. 123 yards rushing as Dylan throws his pin across the booth, and that's on 10 carries. So we're averaging 12.3 yards
I fumbled it
per carry.
Wow, what a play as the Cats score from 26
and
yards
a couple
out.
of pretty good kick returns, even though he made me pull my hair out on that last one. But
Thomas with 2 touchdowns. He hadn't had a regular season touchdown. He had one against Union in the benefit game. That's when we said, boy, this kid could be something special. And, since then, we've been kind of waiting on a performance like this. And I think film-wise, you don't see him on film like you would Aaron Rose. So you're preparing for Aaron Rose if you're Wise Central. Then they bring out this freshman.
I don't hardly see him here tonight. He's running so fast.
Yeah, he's been moving.
He is quick. Yeah, but you're right. You're prepared, and that brings that whole second element to it there. You can prepare and get ready for the big bruising back and Rose coming up the middle who's just going to run you right over. But then what are you going to do when Thomas darts out to the outside? You can't handle them both.
State Line Motors kickoff inbound down the left side. It's muffed at around the 15-yard line, picked up there. Gets a couple of blocks, breaks forward to the 35, out past the 40 before he's brought down. A nice return by Matthew Boggs, the freshman. Finding a lane, he's brought down by Colton Ratcliffe along with
Colton Ratcliffe has taken some hits tonight. He delivered a blow on that one, a little slow to get up, but he's had a heck of a night. Tough guys hung in there, and he's delivered some hard hits and taken some hard ones too.
Bryson Williams with the other hit on him. Is, of course, Ratcliffe there to meet him, to slow him down initially, and then Williams, the usual guy on special teams, making the tackle as well. First down and 10 for Wise Central. 1:03 on the clock, 41-27 the score. As you imagine, you're about to see some shots taken by Wise here from their own 40. McAmis, a 3-step drop under pressure, lobs a perfect spiral up down the sideline. A one-handed grab made, but out of bounds. A nice effort by Ethan Mullins, another freshman. Wow.
I'm telling you, these guys are going to be good in years to come.
I'll say at the very
out there
least,
on the coverage.
I'll say at the very least, they've gained confidence tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And for the Bearcats, is it, we hate to be the ones, we're Bearcat Radio, but really another game where there's going to be one of those question marks for basically the entire second half. But, they've come together, made some plays down the stretch, or this game may have went a totally different way in the second half. They'll drop back one more time under pressure, and he's dropped by Jalen Dingus. Lost about 15 there as he tried to go back around out of the pressure, and Dingus with the sack.
Yeah, he bobbled the snap and took him a while to gather it up there, and by that time Dingus was back there to drag him down. 3rd and forever for Central. 30 seconds. This should be the last snap of the ball game.
3rd down and 25 seconds on the play clock as McAmis will drop back under pressure again. He gets a pass completed out to Dylan Short, who is rocked by Colton Ratcliffe. A gain of about 15 on the play, and Wise will try to get back up to it with 10 seconds on the play clock and try to run one more play on this Thursday night edition of Bearcat football. Snap with 3 seconds. McAmis with a heavy pressure underneath as Watkins nearly got him, but he stopped on the play. The pass was complete, but for some reason Dylan Short stopped, and he got popped by Torian Bazell. Of course, the play was well underway, but he stopped as if the game was over.
Well, he heard the final horn go off there, and
it's going to go off anyway, right?
Yeah.
As that will end it tonight as the Cats get to 3-1 for back-to-back seasons and set themselves up for this main stretch in the season. Got Chilhowie in 2 weeks. What a valiant effort by a Wise Central team. Very young. Gave us everything we could handle tonight, to say the least. So we hope you can stay tuned for the Sesco Group Insurance post-game report as the Bearcats will be victorious for homecoming and win against Wise Central and bounce back from the loss last week against Tennessee High. We'll have, of course, initial thoughts from this game, a game summary. We'll name an Eastman Credit Union player of the game, also the play of the game brought to you by Food City, as well as our final regional scoreboard update, then stats as we close it out here tonight on Bearcat Radio. We hope you stay tuned for that Sesco Group Insurance post-game report. And Travis, let's just go ahead and open it up here some initial thoughts from tonight's game.
Cats did what they had to do, in that first half. Offensively, so efficient. It was, I think, a carryover from last Friday night's game. Even in the second half, I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it. But we come out here in the second half, get down in the red zone twice, and just can't cash in. And then Wise Central just goes on a couple of long drives there to get back in this game. Just some things we got to work on still yet, I believe. I think the byes come at the perfect time, like we've said all night long, getting ready for a tough stretch here coming up. But I think you can take a whole lot more positives than you can negatives from the first 4 games of the season. Then you come through 3-1. It's a pretty good record.
Yeah, pretty good record against some solid teams. Bearcats moved to 3-1 on the year. And Wise Central drops to 1-2 as they will head back home and face Graham next week. So they're going to be playing another Southwest District team on the 21st there in Wise. They got a nice stadium over there that we got to visit last year. So they'll be taking on another Southwest District team next week. So we'll go to the game summary and recap. And what a game we had. The first quarter had 20 points combined in that first quarter. Jamie Lathrop connected to Hunter Wright for a touchdown connection from 35 yards out. The extra point was good. That was with 11:26 on the clock, so less than 50 seconds or 45 seconds into the ball game. The Cats led 7-0. After a 3-and-out for Wise Central, 8:56 on the clock, Jamie Lathrop capped off a drive, 8-yard touchdown pass to Austin Davidson to make it 13-0 after the extra point attempt was partially blocked. And Wise Central would answer with 3:51 to go in that first quarter. C.J. Crabtree with a 2-yard touchdown run to cut it to 13-7. 3:43 on the clock. The Cats started their drive, moved it down inside the 20, and then starting the second quarter, 11-10, they capped off a 4th down. Jamie Lathrop to Hunter Wright again, a 13-yard pass, 20-7. The Cats retook a 2-touchdown advantage. Then as Wise Central was driving up past the 50 near the 40-yard line, 7:59 on the clock, Austin Davidson with a pick six, 60-yard return, 27-7. The Cats led, and that score stayed the same as we entered the halftime intermission. Third quarter, nothing to really report. The third quarter was played on the right side of the field. The Cats had a couple of chances at it from the red zone, couldn't capitalize on it, and Wise hung around, and, they set themselves up for what they did in the fourth, which was, of course, make a heck of a run against a Bearcat offense that had been rolling in the first half. So the defense for Wise Central in the second half definitely stepped up. 8:32 mark in the fourth quarter. They tacked on a score, Wise did. 4-yard touchdown run for Isaiah McAmis. 27-14, that cut the Bearcat lead. Then the Cats would answer on a 6-yard touchdown run for Stevie Thomas with 4:36 to go in the ballgame. That brought it back to 34-14 for the Bearcats. And at the time, we thought the game had been all but iced there with 4.5 left. But with 2:41 on the clock, a 1-yard touchdown run by C.J. Crabtree, Wise cuts it back to 34-20. Then an onside kick away that they recover, a 20-yard touchdown pass on 4th down nonetheless from McAmis to Ben Brickey, and that was Brickey's 3rd touchdown reception of the season. That brought Wise within a touchdown, 34-27. Then they tried another onside kick. Stevie Thomas spun out of a tackle, came out around the corner, got a few blocks, and took it 60 yards back inside the 30 on the other side of the field, really changing the game. And the Cats got to 3rd down after Wise burnt their last 2 timeouts, ran a little zone run play off to the right side, and yet again Stevie Thomas found the edge. Great blocking, and from 26 yards out he went into the end zone untouched. 41-27, the Cats took the lead for the final score of the game at 1:11 to go in the ball game. So a lot of takeaways from that 4 quarters of action. You can really just dissect it into first half, second half, and then maybe take away the third quarter and then come back in the fourth. That would be one of those games where if you missed the third quarter, you really didn't miss that much.
You didn't miss a thing.
But it was quite a performance by a Wise Central team that trailed 27-7 at halftime, so that's easy to forget about. But the Bearcats do get out of homecoming with a victory, and it felt like sort of another escape game sort of situation there near the end. But Wise, you got to give credit to them and what they were able to do in the second half, because they were able to stymie the Bearcat offense and make plays when they needed to on their own offense. So as we will take a commercial break, when we get back, we'll have the Eastman Credit Union Player of the Game, the Food City Play of the Game, then the final regional scoreboard update when we get back from the Sesco Group Insurance post-game report. And the Cats, again, with the victory tonight here at Gene Malcolm. We'll be back.
Titans go!
When the Teen Titans go to the movies, they know the best way to travel is safely.
Hollywood, here we come!
Road trip! And you know it's super.
To keep your child safe, be sure to use the right car seat for their age and size.
Exactly.
Know your feeling. We're finally on the big screen.
Have a seat, my dude.
For more information on finding the right seat, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Gotcha. That's a wise move.
It's an upbeat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Bearcat Radio is brought to you by State Line Motors. Visit State Line Motors on Euclid Avenue in Bristol.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And Shelter Pets makes super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a Shelter Pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org. This message has been brought to you by the Humane Society of the United States, Maddie's Fund, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Sesco Group Insurance post-game show from Gene Malcolm as the Pride of the State Line marching band doing a little late-night matinee performance for us. And the fans that hung around after the final. And if you left early, boy, you missed a good ball game as the Cats ended up winning 41-27 over Wise Central. A valiant effort by the Warriors. They nearly came back and knocked off the Cats in the fourth quarter of tonight's ball game. So, Travis, it's time to name our Eastman Credit Union Player of the Game. Who is tonight's difference maker?
Well, I think you got to give it to Stevie Thomas. We were waiting on that breakout performance. We thought we'd seen it last week, but last week's numbers didn't have anything on tonight. 127 yards on just 10 carries, so almost just under 13 yards per game. So he's going to be our Eastman Credit Union Player of the Game tonight.
Plus 2 touchdowns for the freshman. So he is our difference maker. Stevie Thomas. Experience a credit union difference by opening an account today at www.ecu.org. And, of course, the Food City Play of the Game. Where do you go for that one in a game that had so many twists and turns?
Well, I'm going to give it to, and I think this is the second week in the row this guy's won it, Austin Davidson with a pick six interception there in the second quarter. Returned that thing 62 yards with 7:59 remaining in the second for a touchdown. I believe he's going to win our Food City Play of the Game. Value every day, Food City.
So another Food City Play of the Game for Austin Davidson. And that was really, that was a pivotal moment because you take away those 6 points and we got a 1 point ball game, take away those 7. And as a Bearcat band still out playing, congregation of students, and for homecoming, all the players still out there to the left side of our broadcast booth here on the home side at Gene Malcolm Stadium. Now it's time to go to our final regional scoreboard update. We had a lot of interesting games tonight, but I don't think any of them really lived up to the billing, it sounds like. A lot of blowouts.
Well, the Patrick Henry Twin Springs game might have, but we still can't get a score update on that thing. So, Chilhowie, they knock off George Wythe 39-0. We think that's a pretty impressive victory. We're just trying to sit here and remember. I mean, I'm sure George Wythe has been shut out, but recently, but that just stands out as something you don't see very often. So the Rocky Maroons shut out there in Smith County. Abingdon with a shutout win, 21-0 over Christiansburg. Blacksburg takes care of Richlands 49-17. Of course, Blacksburg jumped out to that big 35-0 lead early. Richlands battled back for a while in that one, and then the Bruins stretch it out again in the end. They win 49-17. John Battle with a 28-0 win over Lebanon. Twin Valley holds off Northwood 52-30. Oh, correction, that game's still in the fourth quarter. 52-30, Twin Valley with the lead. And Holston picks up a big win over Castlewood, 32-6 final. And if you keep up with the National Football League, Thursday night football there as we head to halftime, it's the Bengals 28, Baltimore Ravens 7.
All right, I got you a stat for George Wythe. They've not been shut out since November 19th, 2010, a 26-0 loss in the second round of the VHSL playoffs at Radford. So 26-0 they were beat that day in Radford by the Bobcats. So
wow.
Been a while.